There was no doubt it was a room which belonged to Scrooge, but it was transformed. Mistletoe, ivy, and holly hung from the ceilings and walls. There was a roaring fire and a sumptuous buffet of any and every type of food. Scrooge peered around the door.
Come in, man! I am the ghost of Christmas present. Come in and look upon me,
said the ghost. Scrooge entered and saw him, a large burly man with fine robes and bare feet. On the spirit's head sat a holly wreath, and he had a shimmering mischief in his eye. He was jolly, that Scrooge could be sure of. The ghost rose.
Grab my robe!
And Scrooge did, and as soon as his hand grasped the sleeve, they were in the street. It was a gloomy day, with a thin layer of snow upon the rooftops and a grey morning sky. And suddenly the church doors flew open and families came pouring out, all smiling and laughing. It was Christmas morning. The spirit led Scrooge straight to the home of his clerk, Bob Cratchit, and there, standing over a pot of gravy, was Mrs. Cratchit in a worn-out gown. Her daughter Belinda set the table, and her son Peter cooked the potatoes. Two smaller children ran into the room, both screeching with delight. "What could be keeping your father and your precious brother, me tiny Tim?" Mrs. Cratchit exclaimed. His father, he's coming now!" cried the two tiny Cratchits. And just then Bob entered, carrying Tiny Tim on his shoulder. The boy held a crutch in one hand and grasped his father's arm with his other. Bob put Tim down, and his tiny little crutch began to click on the floor as he made his way to a stool by the fire. "Well, let us eat," said Mrs. Cratchit, and the family placed the gravy and potatoes on the table while Bob went to retrieve the goose. The family ate their dinner. It was no feast, but it was enough for each of them. Mrs. Cratchit served everyone her pudding, hot and steaming. Ooh, was it wonderful! And when supper was finished, the family gathered around the fire, and each with a mug of cider or ale, and Bob raised a toast.
"A Merry Christmas to us all!"
The family echoed his words. "God bless us, every one," Tim added. Scrooge looked upon the child and asked,
"Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live? I see an empty seat, and a crutch without an owner."